Welcome, everyone, and we are live. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Real Raw, where we get to see and experience how influence is a superpower. The Real Raw offers us the chance to have a microphone and a stage, form ecosystems, make more money in less time with more magic, all with the use of Sean Callagy's formula, which he's been curating for over 23 years. And he is here. And Sean Callagy is an entrepreneur, national speaker, philanthropist, one of America's top trial attorneys, and is a chief visionary officer of Unblinded. And though he is blind, he is here to unblind us in integrity through micro distinctions on how we can all go from hello to yes in any role play in life, and leaders can influence leaders and make the world a more heart-centered and amazing place. Welcome, Sean Callagy.
Look at you, Vivian. You snuck that in today. Very, very nice. Thank you. That's amazing. And wouldn't everybody like to have Vivian running around the world with them, like introducing everything?
Oh yeah,
she rocks that. So we have amazing people with us today. So thank you everybody for being here. Yes, influence is a superpower. It is present here, and we are freeing the friction around it for everybody. We're just like freeing friction. We're all about the simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance in what, Vivian? Oh, everybody, in our money, time, and magic. Heart-centered, integriously, authentically. That's what it's all about. So Vivian, let's get to it, because we got some rock stars all over the place today. Let's go.
Oh my God, do we ever? We have Micaela, which, well, we have to change your name. Maybe on the top right, you can put your name in. Micaela Alexis, an espresso-fueled LinkedIn millennial whose mission is to coach her clients on how to grow your business with LinkedIn Pages, which is the name of her first official course. She would know, for she built her community in LinkedIn to over 170,000 followers and manages more than 100 brands worldwide, including partnering with and starring in brand campaigns like Crown Plaza Hotels, Walmart, and K-Swiss. Micaela is a powerhouse who helps in all areas from branding, marketing, strategy, career coaching, consulting, and is a sought-after public speaker. Plus, she's a freelance writer for the Social Media Examiner on LinkedIn and on NBC's Make It. Welcome, Micaela.
Thanks so much for having me. I love that intro. It's giving me, you're like my hype girl. I like it.
Thank you for being here so much, by the way. And how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about this. I've got one broken leg, but I've got a good one. So
you really have a broken leg?
I did. I broke my leg, but it's perfect timing, right? Because nobody's traveling right now. So I'm just sitting tight and mastering my craft, just sitting put, and I'm excited to be here today. Thanks for having me.
My God, how'd that happen? I mean,
is that the fun fact for today?
Yeah, that's my fun fact. My unfun fact. You know what, though? I will say that if you ever want to meet somebody, I'm married, but if you ever want to meet somebody, break a bone, because I swear everywhere I go out, everybody is starting up conversations, which is great if you're an extrovert, but I'll be in the grocery store, people ask me about it, and then somebody comes up and will be like, I broke my leg back in 1969, and and everybody has a story. So that is my tip for today. If you are looking to meet somebody, just break a bone.
Yeah.
Walk around in a cast, right?
There's a fun fact today from a LinkedIn
It's my centerpiece.
So, can I ask you, and I this is a little put you on the spot type question.
Okay.
But do you think that anybody, do you think it's possible, I'll ask you a slightly easier way. Do you think it's possible that nobody in the world knows more about how to integriously and authentically create relationships and leverage LinkedIn than you? Is that possible?
I mean, sure, there are so many experts in the world. I just think that I'm completely obsessed with LinkedIn. So I spent 2 years without spending any money because I really wanted to master the craft and learn what works and what doesn't work. And so I've had kind of experience across the board, and I'm working directly with LinkedIn. So I've been really lucky. But I think anybody can be the best in the world if you really focus on whatever your craft is and get hyper obsessed with it like I have over the past few years. So I don't know if that answers your question. I'm Canadian, so we don't say that we're the best at anything.
So Vivian, my level 5 listening says that that's a yes.
Best of the best, baby.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mikhail, thank you so much for being here. So, yes, we have more. Like, not just that, Vivian, but
I
there's
know we have
that's a
a
role like a
very
contender for today.
joyful Tony Bautista, who's psyched to be here with over 30 years as a global exec in the software industry. He's now the CEO of Clicksters, a profit-sharing software startup helping consumers monetize their internet and mobile device usage, which Sean and Fernando know well. And he's also in the hemp industry and recently invented and filed in the US and Canada patents for the next generation industrial hemp smoking device. So welcome, Tony.
Tony, what's up, brother?
Good to be here. Thank you. I'm really honored to be here. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you. And by the way, everybody, Tony is the CEO of Clicksters, and I just happen to be an investor in Clicksters, full disclosure. And the launch of Clicksters, well, I'll get back to that in a second. So Tony, let's go fun fact first before I go with my fun Clicksters fact.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a former college umpire. And so there's nothing like standing behind a catcher, seeing 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming straight at your face, knowing you need to be present, you need to be clear, and you need to stay stuck right where you're at. So I miss it, but that's my fun fact.
That's a super fun fact. What conference did you umpire, Tony, typically?
D1.
Very good. What part of the country?
California.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. I was out here in California and saw some pretty incredible ball players come through the system. So
that is super cool. And we've discussed my baseball background, I think, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your work there and awesomeness. And yes, so the power of the stage and microphone, to be clear, the entire trajectory. So for those that are unclear, footnote was I put on hold my desire to build this platform for about 15 years after I had built my first law firm and sold it, built a training development company and sold it, to be present for my kids during their entire upbringing, youth, coach all their games, teams, be a business owner and an operator. So I launched back in 2018, knowing when my kids were graduating high school, at least my son was, that that was going to be a time that I was going to, look to exponentially grow not only Caligy Law across the country, but also this platform. And so one of the first things that happened is I met the founder of Clicksters and his wife, the two founders, Milo and Michelle Seidel, who are the Clicksters founders, and Tony's the CEO. And they ended up doing an innovation session, something called a pitch off. And oddly enough, this is the first time Tony's ever been on. I don't think Milo has ever been on the Real Raw, which we should, because Milo is a trip and a half and I love him. And we were at Tony Robbins' house a few weeks ago together. And so the bottom line with all this is that Clicksters pitch off was at least 20% of the creative sort of seed behind the Real Raw, because we had a pitch off. It wasn't like this. It wasn't the same thing. And the byproduct of that was, a few months later, I was privileged enough to be speaking on stage at Tony Robbins events as the byproduct of winning that pitch off, and some of the people that were in the room and what happened. So there is such a power in the stage and microphone. Whenever I hear Clicksters, I immediately think of the emphasis of the power of stage and microphone. So Tony, it's a pleasure that you're here. And how are things going, dude? If you're gonna give us one sentence about or a couple sentences about how Clicksters are doing, what's up?
Yeah, Clicksters is doing phenomenal. I mean, we have over 20,000 members all over the world. Our daily drawing is monetized now. And we're moving down the path of releasing the profit sharing community, as you understand it, towards the end of the year. So I'm really glad to be here. I mean, this whole opportunity, it fits me perfect. I mean, everything I've done in my career, from gamification, having a patent, for a mobile application on the gamification side, everything we want to do in Clicksters fits me so well. So I feel very blessed to be here.
No, let's go. I love Milo and Michelle to no end. So thanks, Tony, for being here. And awesome.
Absolutely.
And Vivian, but wait, there's more. They're judges.
We have Sharon Stecker in the house with over 30 years as an environmental consultant. She worked at BEM Systems and is the senior vice president at Brown and Caldwell, an environmental consultant, engineering and consulting firm. Her passion is mentoring and developing the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
Sharon, welcome. And Sharon, what's a fun fact from you today before we start getting into
I'm going to use the same one twice, Sean, that, Sean and I don't know each other well. I'm a newbie here, but I heard him say something back in January, we have something in common, and it's the love of the Jersey Shore, and it's the love of Bruce Springsteen. And Sean has a hat, I guess. I don't know if you still do it all the time. I've kind of gone away from it a little bit, but the pilgrimage, the ride at the beginning of the summer every year, as you blast down to the Jersey Shore, you got to play Bruce Springsteen and you got to play Born to Run. And I did the same exact thing when I was, a teenager into my early 20s. Every trip, girlfriend's in car, blast it and head down.
Yeah. And true story, I was on a group call earlier today with Sharon and some other amazing folks in the Unblinded World. And when Sharon said that, I had tears form in my eyes. And that is not left behind at all. In fact, that is very much a part of it. There's like rules, guys, for how you drive down the Garden State Parkway, when you play certain songs, going over the causeway to LBI, of course, 4th of July, Sandy by Bruce Springsteen. And Sharon is just up the coastline. I don't know, probably as the crow flies, we might be like 25 miles apart, 30 miles apart, right? Yeah.
20, 25.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. And Sharon, everybody, we are currently negotiating with the Bruce Springsteen team and World for rights to use Born to Run in the Unblinded World. So that's like,
Fantastic.
That's to say we should lead with that here on The Real Raw, Sean.
Yes,
Wow.
I agree. So that is
cool.
That is very
Excellent.
present. Yeah. So Sharon, thank you so much for being here. And what you represent is the incredible professional space amongst others. And I'm so excited that you're here. And there's an entire world of hello to yesing in the influencer world, in marketing, in professional selling and selling of all sorts. And so there's awesome diversity here every day in The Real Raw, and just you being in the Unblinded World is something that I'm incredibly appreciative, Sharon. So thank you for all.
Likewise, I'm appreciative to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Vivian.
We have Sheila Toro, from paralegal to a modern day strategy alchemist. Her gift is to help companies go from vision to content, and is why she is the COO at Hire Marketing, a marketing and branding agency that transforms how businesses view social media. She's worked alongside Grant Cardone, Kevin Harrington, and Jay Shetty, to name a few. A recent win was closing a high ticket sales of $50 million in sales, that is. Welcome, Sheila.
Whoa, Sheila, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. And anybody, Sheila, and everybody that uses the word alchemist in like their heroic, unique identity bio is an extraordinarily cool thing. So let's go with like, where did alchemist come from? I know what it is, I know what it means, but like, how did that resonate? Like, how did that come up for you?
I wanted that reaction, right? So a modern day alchemist, you'd be surprised. And I feel like our LinkedIn guru would appreciate that. I get a lot of reach outs just being like, what does that mean? What do you do? And how can you help me? So it actually kind of breaks that first impression and makes it a lot easier for me to actually introduce what it is that I do and how I can help.
All right. So then I have to ask this to Sheila, Michaela, everybody. Let's go Michaela for a second. We have sweatshirts now made up. Fernando has dubbed me, because we talk about a scotoma as an aspect, part of psychology that creates a blank spot in like our, neuroscience, right? And so Fernando has dubbed me Mr. Scotoma. So would you agree that like that would be a fun thing, Michaela, to like sign out like Mr. Scotoma? Like, I'm not sure it'd be exactly that way, but having that in there would be similarly disruptive and provoking intrigue. Give me your assessment and your expertise.
I mean, definitely there's room for personality. I think on your LinkedIn profile, there's so many people that miss these opportunities where we can actually share our points of differentiation and share our unique stories and our superpowers superpowers because we are so caught up in this idea of what a professional looks and sounds like that we're like, okay, let me just shelve my personality because what they're looking for is somebody that is super competent, which of course is super important, but you also need to have confidence, and confidence means sharing who you are. So adding something in there that might seem a little bit different, a little bit unique, to me shows confidence.
Awesome. Love Michaela. And so Sheila, what are your thoughts? How about scotoma? Like, is there room for like scotomaing and alchemy and like, does this all like fit?
I love it. I'm totally digging it. I definitely think we should chat about that, but I would put it up there. I mean, it's like Michaela said, you just want to stand out, right? It's a very saturated market. There's hundreds and thousands of users, and any way that you can express your personality, like what she was saying, in a very unique way, that's what's going to grab attention, especially in sales and in the corporate world.
Right. So I got to ask your opinion on this then.
Sure.
Since GC came up here, so I don't know if this has come across your world, but Vivian, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I have a $250,000 bet for charity that I put out to Grant Cardone, and I've heard nothing back. So that on a neutral set of facts, that I will out-influence him. I'll add this to it because I didn't say this in all the videos, that I will out-influence him 7 straight times, including in his own sales process and sharing the integrous dynamics around it. So, and I mean it, like, I'm asking honestly, do you think that that's like too much, off-putting, offensive, if like somebody, and again, it's for charity, but if I'm backing that with, I think it's heart-centered, integrous, loving influence that matters, not any type of inauthentic dynamic that is drawing attention. So I'm not asking you to speak into that about anybody in particular, but would you say with the idea of advancing integrous, heart-centered, integrity-based human influence in our work, that's like too much? Like, what's your take?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think that's a great call out. I mean, I would be plastering that all over your platforms. Listen, he would love that. I mean, I'm not sure if it got in front of it, but he's all about being competitive in the sense of, if you're doing something and it's helping people, he's going to try to figure out the same way, and vice versa. And that's the only way, especially in this space, everyone can grow, right? Like, we have to collaborate and most importantly, push ourselves to be better. So I love that. I don't think that that's inappropriate at all. And I mean, GC loves that, especially if you're calling him out with some a nice hefty cash flow behind it. He's definitely going to want to respond to that.
All right, just kidding. I didn't mean that sincerely, because when I shared it, you know, and I have a few lengthy videos about it, you know, I was like, really, like, this is heart-centeredness, like boom, 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 like. But, you know, like, it's interesting because people, you know, we live in a soundbite world, and it could come off like with a degree of arrogance and condescension and some other things. So it's an interesting, like, I haven't pressed it. Like, I did put it out, but I haven't pressed it for like concern of how it might be received. So I appreciate your feedback.
No, all those guys do that. All those guys are always, you know, pressing each other. I mean, like, you'll hear Grant, like, he's called out Ed Milet, Andy Frisella. They all call each other out, Bradley. Like, it's just a collaborative space, and that's just almost like a fun way of making it into a sport. But again, it'll benefit a lot of people, you guys actually doing that.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you, Sheila.
I might pay to sit into that Real Raw, Sean, and bring some popcorn.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, but it might be just like a 1-round knockout. But we'll get back. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. But I'm not. So Sheila, what's a fun fact about you?
Fun fact, with all of my awesome experience and confidence, like Michaela was talking about, I start 5th grade tomorrow with my 10-year-old daughter, and I'm absolutely petrified of what that world's going to bring. So if there's any fellow parents out there that want to send some advice or just encouragement or words of support, I would greatly appreciate that, because I am
go with
scared.
the flow.
I'm scared out of my mind.
Just bring some tissue.
Pretty much.
And go with the flow. Trust in the universe right now. Just go with the flow.
Exactly. You just got to do that. But that's a little fun fact. I'm scared of the 5th grade right now.
Oh, that is amazing. And you sound like an amazing person. Pleasure to connect. And Vivian, we have one final judge, last but certainly not least.
Yep, from Texas, but raised in New Jersey, we have Thomas Lee. For over 20 years at his own company, Thomas J. Lee Coaching, he helps small business owners and realtors scale and market. And he loved building figures with Legos and drafting blueprints of furniture arrangements. Welcome, Thomas.
Thomas, how are you?
How's it going, Sean?
Yeah, pleasure, brother. So what's happening, and like what's up? What are you up to in the world right now that matters most to you?
What matters most is the thing I love about Unblinded, integrity, relationship, coming from the heart centered. It's great that we were high school rivals. Come from Cresskill, you're from Emerson.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Just the way that the whole network comes together, especially with Tony's World, and just coming together now is just an incredible journey.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thomas and I went to rival high schools in northern New Jersey at different times, but rival high schools. And my daughter just graduated this year from Emerson, and they had some very serious rival interactions with Cresskill, and so did my son during his years. He's a junior in college now. So it is always fun to see a Cougar. So welcome, Thomas.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Vivian, finally, we have John.
Yes, we have John. He's been in finance for just over 10 years, and he's with Aflac. He's married with 2 children, and his main goal is to be financially free, to be able to give more to his family, community, and to charities. So welcome, John.
John, are you having fun?
Yeah, I am actually.
Very, very cool. So, what's most present for you? Just hanging out here. You're like, what's up? What's present?
Well, it's just seeing all the people doing such wonderful things and really pressing and fulfilling their potential. You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome to see. So
cool.
I'm just happy to be here with you guys. Yeah.
How about a fun fact, John?
A fun fact is I'm a good dancer.
Nice. I can't. By the way, most of you probably know this.
Yeah.
I'm blind, so I can't see it. But could you dance, and Vivian can give it the best?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, baby, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
He's a good dancer, John.
That's it.
All right. So this is the real. So if you're like, can we get started? We did start. We did. That's the whole point of all this, is that this is how people connect authentically and begin the process of building relationships. There's 4 energies in human influence. There's the energy of aspiration, like going somewhere, goddess, heart-centeredness, present, flowing. By the way, it's not about men and women. Goddess, men and women need goddess energy. The gathering energy, the present, the flow. Zeus energy, the decision-making, making things happen, creating, right, building. And of course, the fun energy. And when fun, aspiration, goddess, Zeus mix in variance appropriately in a sequencing of communication, amazing things happen. That's all we've been doing. We connected, we're here. We're not falling asleep. We're not boring. We don't like each other. There's something happening here. Present, and on we go. So thank you, Vivian. Mwah. You are amazing, incredible, awesome, and I cannot thank you enough.
Love you all. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Okay, so here's how this works. Tony, Michaela, John will be anybody you want him to be as a role player for whatever a yes that matters to you in the world. So it could be a direct client ask. It could be an ecosystem merger. It could be a book deal, maybe a movie deal. Could be to vote for a candidate you want for office. Whatever is a hello to yes that matters to you in the world. It doesn't have to be a sale. And it could also be just have a longer meeting. That's it. It's going to be the way the game works, the process works, the freeing of friction around the superpower of influence works here at Unblinded on the Real Raw, is 2 3-minute segments. Right? And so there's no need to set up a separate call, because John's just going to get a call about 3 minutes in, and we're like, hey, John, you have a quick call? It'll be a pause. Hey, Michaela, hey, or Tony, I'll be right back. So each of you will have 2 3-minute segments, and judges, the first 3-minute segment is all, if we could dial in on this, because sometimes it gets, this is a lot and we're having fun, but it's really important because of what these awesome contestants are not needing to do in the first or second round. They can use their time any way they want, but all you're judging in the first round is depth of connection. How deep is the connection they're creating with John? How much is John seeing his future in each of them, along with one other thing? So depth of connection, and is something at stake? Has Michaela or Tony accessed and put something at stake? So in the second round, they can convey their heroic, unique identity, who they are, their USP, more enriched, story for a different day, but it's a cousin. Heroku Unique Identity would be a cousin of USP, but about them, right? That John is going to want to see them as like unique, so he becomes curious. Like they're congruently unique, so he becomes curious. That's the second round, and moving on to a yes. So it's like how they deal with maybe some objections or concerns, ask questions, and get to a yes, and convey who they are in the second round. The first round is all about opening listening, so that Michaela, Tony, like, because none of us want to do this, you sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, like wah, 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 wah. So first round is about eliminating, freeing the friction of wah, 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 opening listening, putting something at stake. So Michaela, you are physically in Canada today?
I am.
Yes. Tony, you're physically where today?
California.
Oh boy, I need a GPS. So what part of Canada are you in, Michaela, today?
I am in Ottawa.
So you're closer, unquestionably. So I don't need a GPS, thankfully. Let's go. Tony, do I have a 1 or a 2 under the table?
2.
It's a 1. Michaela, you've won the toss. Would you like to go first or second in the first round?
I'll go second.
All right. Tony, who would you like John to be? What's it?
I just need John to be John.
Awesome. So listen, here's how it's going to go. You're going to hear like a little alarm go off with a minute to go, 30 seconds to go is the second alarm. The third alarm is like time to stop. It doesn't have to be a hard stop. I'll kind of bring us to a soft stop, but take us in, Tony.
Absolutely. So John, thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. Do you have 2 or 3 minutes here to go over a few things?
Yeah, I think I got a couple minutes.
Okay, well, great. Thank you for your time. So Clicksters, I'm the CEO of Clicksters, and Clicksters is a reward application. That's what we do. We reward our members. We reward our members for their time, their attention, and also their opinion. So that's basically what we do. But our mission is really to help needy families all over the world. So our founder, Milo Seidel, I mean, this guy is brilliant. You know, his goal is to feed 10 million needy families around the world. And that's really our goal as a company. So do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about your technology?
Shoot.
Yeah, so do you have a smartphone?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. What kind?
Apple.
Oh, really? Which one?
The 8.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm an Apple user too. Everything from Mac. I'm on a MacBook right now. I've got an iPhone, an iPad, and so my daughter uses an iMac. So it's all Apple in this house. So cool. Can I go ahead and assume that you're on social media?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Facebook and Instagram as well?
Facebook and LinkedIn, not Instagram yet.
Okay.
So.
All right. So can I ask you why you're on those platforms?
I just haven't gotten on it yet. I need to get on it more. I've been expanding my Facebook and also my LinkedIn. So Instagram's the next one. I'm probably about I was at a seminar and they said, yeah, you definitely need to get on Instagram. So I'm just behind the curve a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. So why are you on those social platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook?
Well, obviously to be the social part, but also want to expand my business more. So that's why I've actually expanded a little bit more in the last couple months.
Okay, well, cool. Do you mind if I share with you Clickster's opinion and position on social media?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, digital online advertising, huge space, $326 billion in 2019. The 800-pound gorilla, as you know, it is Google, $103 billion in digital advertising. That's the space we play in. So for example, Facebook, they made $70 billion last year in 2019. And so our model is, you know, when you're on Facebook, when you log in, you'll see a post from somebody you know, but the next thing you see is you see an advertisement, right? Unsolicited, you'll see an ad. You scroll down 2 or 3 more, you'll see another ad, right? So that's how they make their revenue. So Clicksters, our company, we're actually a revenue sharing company. So real simple. For every dollar we make in advertising, we actually share 40 cents. of our revenue. So that's what's going to be very disruptive about what we do. The cool thing about us is that our application is absolutely free. So it's free to download, free to use. Yes, I get a lot of that eyebrow movement from people when I tell them that you can make money off of our application, and it's absolutely free. So that is really what we do. There's a lot of different ways you can actually get rewarded on our platform, but that's what we do. So what do you think?
Hey,
yeah.
quick call, John. Can you pick it up there when you get back from your call in a minute?
Yeah, Tony, I got a quick call. I got to take a quick call.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
He'll be right back, Tony. All right, awesome. Tony, how'd that feel for you?
Great. Yeah, I talk to people every day about Clicksters, so it's kind of fun to do it here with this group. So.
Okay, John, if you rated the depth of your connection, just your feeling of connection with Tony, what would your number be? 1 to 10.
1 to 10? I'd say an 8.5. 9. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Michaela, are you ready?
I am now.
All right. Who would you like John to be?
So John can be John. John is a prospect. He kind of comes to me through LinkedIn. I don't really know what he fits into, whether it's one-on-one coaching, a group environment, or like a do it at your own pace course. So I'm trying to figure out where I should lead him to.
Awesome. Take us in, please.
Why do I always find this part so hard? It's always the hardest part. Ring, ring. I don't know what phones sound like.
Hello? Yeah, hello?
I'll help. Ready?
Hello, this is John.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
Hey, John. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's your week going so far?
It's going okay. I got
You're
a couple things
holding
going on.
up?
Yeah, I'm holding up.
Good. Awesome. Well, I know that you're a super busy guy. I know you got a lot going on. I like to use these calls to kind of just learn a little bit more about what you're looking for, how I might potentially be able to help you. So would you mind if we kind of just dive into a couple of questions just to kind of dig up what you might be needing?
Sure.
Okay. So the first things first is, what is your biggest challenge currently with LinkedIn?
So, I mean, I've been adding a lot of connections, but I want to be able to get my face out there more. I've been doing some Facebook Live videos, which I've been, putting part of them on LinkedIn. But I just want to make sure that, it's the most effective. And then also getting the conversation started with some of the connections.
Got you. So really nurturing relationships, a little bit more personal brand exposure, building thought leadership, and maybe looking at repurposing some of the content that you're producing elsewhere and figuring out how it can work for the LinkedIn ecosystem. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Awesome. Well, and this is kind of goes hand in hand, but what are some of your biggest goals, and how do you think that LinkedIn in particular can help you get there?
Well, I know LinkedIn is more of a business platform, and even the members usually try to keep it more business. So that's one of the reasons why I like it, because everybody's business focused. And then also you can have access anywhere from a CEO to, a regular salesperson at a company. So that's one of the reasons why I like them. I like the one thing I don't like is they don't let the videos be as long. It's like 10 minutes. So I have to usually cut my videos, but I think it's one of those things where it's like keeps them wanting more.
Right.
So that's a nice thing about LinkedIn.
Right. And just a quick win for you, because I love giving you these little nuggets so you can walk away with.
Sure.
When it comes to videos and repurposing, 30 to 45 seconds, and then lead the person back to a landing page. Or if you wanted to live on Facebook, you could actually lead it back to that Facebook original post. But just using that teaser on LinkedIn is really, really, I find it has been really, really effective.
Okay.
So it could certainly help you with some of those goals. Have been helping thousands of people just like you reach those goals. And it's a pleasure to do so. What would success look like if we were to work together, though?
I'd like to be able to increase my income, at least double it. I'm at 6 figures right now, but yeah, I'd like to get to 7 actually. So,
you're right.
But obviously I like to, add more income and be able to use social media instead of it using me all the time.
Yes, so. I love that. And
yeah. You're on it all the time. So it's like, why not make it to be able to be a revenue stream for you?
I am all about turning your LinkedIn profile into an ATM for your business. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but I'm busy. I'm a solopreneur,
That's
so
right.
I need systems that are going to work for me and are going to convert attention into potentially paying clients. So everything
Yes.
that I do, just so that you know, is focused on conversions and making more money, because if it doesn't make money, I can't do it, right? So I'm sure that
Right.
you can relate to that.
Yes.
And John, how do you work? How do you learn best? Because everybody learns in different ways. What appeals to you most? Are you more attracted to the do it at your own pace courses? Do you like one-on-one? Do you like group environments? Or are you kind of interested in learning a little bit more about each format?
A combination, because I know that you can
John, let's
learn.
pick up right there with that. Look, Austin's got a quick call. So pick up right from that answer, which course do you prefer? And let's freeze. And how about, Michaela, how'd that feel for you?
It felt good. I'm like testing out these new questions, and like people seem to love them. I put them into all of my surveys. So I like really focusing that first conversation more on the person. Most of the time that people reach out to me, they already know me because of my content and what I'm posting on LinkedIn. So that's the nice part, is that I don't have to go into my whole backstory about how I got started on LinkedIn. So I like to use this time just to get to know people better.
Awesome. And John, connection, scale 1 to 10.
I think it's right up there, 9.5. Because this is something that I actually want to do. So these are real questions that I'm asking.
Real
I'm actually
answers
doing
too.
this.
The real answers.
So yeah, this is real. This is real, Sean. Like I'm actually trying. Actually doing this. So
Right.
it's good that it, that
But in
we're having this
addition,
discussion. Yeah.
there's energetic transference happening, right? And we'll talk more about that awesomely. Great job, Michaela. So yeah, let's drop in with our judges. So judges, if you could give 40 seconds of feedback max to Tony, 40 seconds to Michaela, and with about 5 seconds to go in that 40 seconds, you'll hear an alarm just to keep our time integrity moving. And maybe the first 20 seconds or so, what you thought worked. The second 20 seconds, what could be optimized. And remember that 20 seconds goes fast, so if we could kind of bullet form it. But Sheila, what do you have for Tony?
So for Tony, my first thing is intent. Really, like, that's going to be like my biggest feedback is off bat when you introduce yourself, what your purpose of that call is, because it seems like with your business, and I'm not really familiar, like you have a lot of information that you could get through, but it's really the intent. So quick bullet points of I really want to have this conversation with you, John, to really identify if my platform that exposes what your money shot is, and say it like, I have access to the social media, $1 billion eyes, whatever you want to call it, but that sexy slogan, I call it the money shot, that you can quickly say, I just want to dive in and see if, this is going to make sense for you. So that would just be my only feedback for you, is like, you just have a lot of information. It's just intent.
Yeah. And Sheila, what would you give as a score, 1 to 10 for Tony?
For Tony, I would give him a 7-8, to be really honest.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you. And how about for Michaela?
Michaela, I love your new questions. I totally think that those are going to be great. The only reason why I didn't give you a 10 out of 10 is because you jumped right in. It's probably just the setting. You didn't introduce yourself. So that was like the only thing, but like you actually touched on that. Like you said, hey, I want to get to know you. This is my intent of the call. So that would be my only feedback, is just making sure, like, when you dive in, that they know who you are and why it is that you guys are connecting. But all in all, those new questions, I love those, and I use them if I'm pitching a car, house, whatever it is. Like, those are phenomenal questions.
Awesome. And so what'd you have for a score?
I gave her a 9.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, Sheila. Sharon, what did you have for Tony?
I thought Tony was good. I enjoyed the probing questions. I think he had a lot of info in a short period of time. So that rapport, like a lot of your facts came out, but that, as Sheila said, maybe the upfront intent could have maybe smoothed it a bit. So I thought you did a nice job, though. You've got a lot to sell, though. So it's sort of a little bit of a long
Yeah.
to get to a punchline, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I give you an 8. I thought it was a nice job, though.
Okay. Thank
Awesome. And what'd you have for Michaela? Sharon?
Michaela did great. I mean, the probing questions, the rapport was there. There was empathy. You shared in his thinking, you shared in his mission. And my favorite was you gave him value on the spot. You shared a tidbit with him that, it should have impressed him and should have said, hey, she's out for me. So great job.
Excellent.
It's
What,
easily a 9, maybe a 9.5.
excellent. And Thomas, what did you have for Tony?
For Tony, I like the way that he acknowledged and asked for permission, and the way that he spoke with bullet points of what ClickStars was, and used words like, well, I assume you're on social media. So he's not necessarily just pushing it, but he's asking the questions for more permission. And what I felt like where Tony had a growth opportunity is just ask how he's doing. Ask cater questions that'll pull out more maybe of the social media ahead of time, and then offer what ClickStars offers. And you know, that's I would give Tony an 8 for his call. In terms of Michaela, you just went straight to the heart. Like there was no barriers. You just went straight from the heart. What's your challenge? What are you after? Matching and mirroring what he was saying, making him feel heard, and topping it off with values, so he just gets more and more amped for what's coming up next. So 9.5.
Nice. Excellent job, Tony and Michaela. And in this, so I'm going to do a little exercise and give some feedback after the second round. So let's just keep on rocking. Tony, it is your choice in round 2. Would you like to go first or second?
Well, since I got schooled in the first round, and obviously this is my first time here, I think the master who pretty much kicked my butt should go first.
All right, that's awesome, Tony. Michaela, you're just going to pick it up from here. Judges, remember, we're looking how effective Michaela shares her heroic, unique identity. What are the stories, the characteristics, the details, the facts that now that the connection's established and John's like, yeah, there's a problem here, this is interesting, that Michaela gives him that vision, like of him really seeing the potential of his future in Michaela, and then getting to a yes and dealing with any objections or concerns. So Michaela, ready?
I think so.
All right, take us in. Ring, ring, John is back.
Hey, John, you good to talk right now?
Yeah, I think I got a couple minutes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So picking up where we were last, are we picking up where we were last?
Yeah.
I wanted to know how can I meet you where you are? How do you best learn? Do you prefer a program maybe that you do at your own pace? Do you find that you learn better in a group environment? Do you prefer one-on-one kind of live coaching sessions? Where do you feel like your comfort level is? Or are you interested in kind of hearing a little bit about all three?
A little bit about all three, because usually I learn by doing, obviously. So.
Awesome. Well, let me send you over some information by email on each one, because we don't want to get too much into all of the nitty gritties, but I'll send you all the details, the time commitments, the pricing, all of that good stuff by email. Is that okay?
Is there a way that you can maybe go over it with me a little bit? Because I have a lot of time. I know you can send over an email, but I get a lot of emails and I'm kind of busy, so yeah.
Sure, absolutely. So there's a couple of different ways that we can work together. The first way is one-on-one. This truthfully is how I work best, just being one-on-one with a person live. It's a great opportunity to ask me questions, to get feedback. What we do in each session is we kind of have them mapped out in advance so we know exactly what we're going to talk about. So even though they are coaching sessions, they're a little bit more structured, and you walk away with each session with homework and things that you will do before the next session. So it's kind of like a little more structured than a regular coaching program. We start from the very basics. We start from top to bottom with your profile, go through each section. We optimize each piece. We make sure that everything that we're doing is aligned with everything that we've already talked about today. So all of your goals in terms of conversions, making more money, turning those profile visitors into paying clients, that's going to be our main focus for all of these coaching sessions. The other option is a group environment, and that's really great if you are the type of person that kind of feeds off of other people's energy. What's nice about that is that you have a community of other people that are kind of going through the same thing as you. So if you're afraid to ask questions, they might ask questions for you. You also have that ability to just create those relationships and grow with other people. And then the third option is a do it at your own pace course. And this is a great option if you are the type of person that's busy, you just got to get to the goods right away. And so there's different options. There's a longer course. There's one that's an hour and a half. So you can sit down on a Saturday afternoon, maybe with a lemonade in your backyard, get through all the material that you need to really level up on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
And John, do you mind, I mean, do you know a lot about me, or do you know a lot about my background?
Actually I don't. So
Good. Yeah. Well, you might know me now as
Okay.
a LinkedIn coach and trainer, but I actually started on the LinkedIn platform in 2016. And when I started in 2016, I was broke, I was unemployed, I was a month away from my 30th birthday. And so I really came into the platform as a job seeker. And because I had been in marketing for a decade at that point, I really started to think about how I could market myself as an individual. And really, instead of thinking of personal branding as personal branding, I started to think of it as career insurance. Well, what if I created a community of people that supported me, that liked and trusted me in the digital space? And so I've been doing that for the last 4 years. I only started speaking 2 years ago, where I spent basically years studying my craft, experimenting with different things to learn how to create viral video campaigns, create a converting LinkedIn profile. And now I've really dedicated my career to helping people just like you discover the magic of LinkedIn. So I kind of have a personal connection to it. And a lot of the struggles that you have are ones that I went through myself along this journey. And so that's why it makes it a little bit different for me when I'm teaching people, because I know those challenges personally.
Okay, awesome.
Sound good?
Yeah.
So-
So what do we do next?
So let me send you more information about each one of the programs, the start dates, the pricing, all of that good stuff. If you have any questions in the meantime, please let me know. What I'm also going to do is, because I love leaving people with some quick wins that they can implement right away. So I'm going to send you some free resources just to start building that momentum on LinkedIn so that you know what it feels like to get those wins in, and we can take it from there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, John, level connection.
Like I said, 9.5.
How much are you seeing your future in Michaela's work?
Very well.
Score?
Yep.
Guy's even laughing. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You put a spell on him. So super cool. But quick question, Michaela.
Yeah.
What do you think, what is it that you do for a living? Like there's the idea of like, yeah, like what do you do for people?
So I mean, I help people or individuals, professionals, audiences, and brands level up on LinkedIn.
We're going to come back to that. I think you do a lot more than that, my friends. So we're going to come.
Okay.
I want to leave you.
It's something that I always struggle with is that unique.
You're straight up amazing. And so I want to I think you do a lot more than that. So you do that and a lot more. So we're going to come back to that in a second.
Cool.
Great job. All right. Tony, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Let's go. Round 2.
Okay.
Tony's on the clock.
Okay. Hi, John.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. On the last call, I don't think I did a very good job at telling you why we're talking. So I am from Clicksters. We don't sell, we actually invite. And so the whole purpose of our discussion really is just to tell you a little bit about who we are, and then you can make a decision if this is something that might fit in, say, your plans. So the big challenge today is that people are on social media for quite some time. So if you have an iPhone, at 9 o'clock, at least in California, we get a little chime. I go to mass. I have to leave my phone in my car because it chimes, and I look at it and it says, "Oh, you spent 5 hours, on social media." So what if I told you you could actually get paid for that time?
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah,
I spend way too much time. Yeah.
Right, and that's exactly what we do. So we pay you for your time, your attention, and your opinion, and there are a lot of different ways we do it. The one way we do it now, which is live right now, is a daily drawing. So our members are downloading, signing up for our application. And by the way, it's an invitation-only platform. So we know when we go viral, which we will next year, that people are going to want to sign into this, but that's not how we operate. I mean, we're a face-to-face kind of company. So I will, if you would like, I could invite you to the platform and then you can run from there. So
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, so that's pretty much what we do. We have some other really cool things we do in our application where you can earn income. We do not want technology to take over in regards to humanology. So we actually limit how much money you can make on our app on a daily basis, and it's $1. That's it. So how long does that dollar take? About 5 minutes. And so you come onto our platform, you watch a few videos, commercials, you make $1 and you're out. What we don't want is people to come in and spend all day on it, try and make as much money as they can. That's not the purpose of the application. The purpose of the app is really to help people out. So let me ask you, do you know people that would love a free app and make a few bucks on the side?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we operate. We have a leverage component too. So, if you do the math, it's like, $30 a day, $30 a month. We pay anywhere from 2 to 10%, depending on your rank in our application. And so let's say on $30, let's say you invite Michaela to the platform and she does $1 a day and makes $30 that month. Your reward is going to be 60 cents. But, it's unlimited. So you can invite as many people as you want. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can invite thousands of people if you want, and you will be rewarded for everybody that you invite to the platform. What's even crazier, it goes 6 levels deep. So if you do the math, it's pretty phenomenal. So that's pretty much what we do. Is this something maybe I can invite you to and take a look at?
Maybe you can send me just a little bit more information.
Yeah, sure.
Because I've gotten involved with some other things and I've gotten a little bit skeptical because of,
Okay.
stuff that's happened in the past. So.
Okay, I totally understand. So yeah, I'd be happy to send you some information.
All right. Tony, excellent. So John, how'd you feel in terms of Tony seeing your future in and solving for pain?
Yeah, because I want to be able to make more money online, and he definitely let me know that. I feel like I'm wasting time just on Facebook.
Okay.
So give me an avenue.
So give me a number if you could.
8.5.
Cool. Okay. So quick, Michaela, can we role play something out for a couple minutes real quick?
Okay.
All right. Does that sound good or no?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So can I be you?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So you.
Where's your coffee though?
This will be my coffee.
Okay.
It looks like water, but it will look like coffee. Quick fun facts. I didn't give a fun fact today. I've never had a cup of coffee in my entire life. That is an actual truthful fun fact. I had one sip of coffee one time. Yes. So fun fact. So okay. So you'll be John, if that's okay. Right.
Sure.
And so, hey, John, thanks so much. Really appreciate you taking the time. I know you filled out that form and we're here to have a conversation. Can I ask you this, why'd you fill out that form?
Oh gosh. I feel like I'm kind of spinning my wheels on LinkedIn. I feel like I've done all the things that people tell me to do. I set up the profile, I added a photo, but it just doesn't feel like anything's happening. I don't see the point of it. I'm getting sales messages and messages from recruiters, but I'm not really getting any real clients or opportunities on the platform. But I feel like maybe that's possible.
Yeah, I'm hearing an immense, or meaningful amount of frustration, and maybe even you're not so sure that LinkedIn can even work for you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask this though? Who cares? What are you up to in the world? LinkedIn's here because it's going to do something for you and be a part of what you're building. But what is it that you're building? What's the mission?
I'm a speaker and I'm a motivational speaker and I travel the world normally when there's not COVID. And I feel like more people need to hear my message. I want to get my message out there. I've had a long past and I've gone through some incredible things in my life and I just want to share that message with the world. But I feel like I'm not able to because I'm not reaching the right ears.
Yeah. And why do you want to share? I'm hearing you went through these things, your desires for impact, but why? Why do you even care? Like, yeah, we're like, what's, yeah.
I want to make an impact. I want to influence other people. I want to show people that there is light on the other side of all of this. And the only way to do that is by making my voice heard.
Yeah. And if that never happens, right? And it's 150 years from now, and you have the privilege to know it's like your last day on earth, like, how much will it matter though? Because people, and I'm saying this with absolute respect, John, so many people say that they want that, but like, where does that like really fit into? How important is that in your life?
I think legacy is something that I'm really starting to think more and more about, especially with everything that's happening. I want to leave a legacy of hope and change and positivity on the world. And I feel like LinkedIn is a place where there's so many people that are hurting that I could bring them hope and I could change their life positively.
Yeah. And John, of course, thank you. Received. Like, this is a part of you. I'm hearing it. And I'll share that it's not only the people you connect directly with, but it's the amplification of those people by all the people you connect with through them. Is that a fair statement, John?
Yeah, absolutely. I look at all of this as just ripples in the water.
Yeah. And so is it okay in the final minute we have here together if I share a little bit about myself?
Please.
Yeah. So as you know, my name is Michaela, and I was broke at 30 years old. And I cannot believe the journey I have gone through to realize with some simple, small things that are like micro distinctions. Like there's a difference, of course, John, between having a television with one wire that doesn't work or a battery missing from a remote and nothing happens versus everything happens. And so what I'm here to do is certainly to help you generate clients and relationships on LinkedIn. What I'm really here to do is to help you achieve your legacy. Because this is the space of speakers and people connecting, and I feel so blessed for what I figured out how to do. And I have a very unique level of mastery, and I have several different ways that we can work together. But my experience has been, you can do it yourself. I have programs. The best way to work with me is to work with me. So if you'd like to know more about that, I know we're out of time. I'd like to set up a 15-minute call to explore some of those dynamics and send you a couple pieces of information. How does that sound, John?
That sounds amazing. I would love that.
Okay, I'll pause. Michaela, how did that feel for you?
That felt totally different. I feel like sometimes I get stuck on what I offer versus and not even like the problem that I'm solving, but the real problem that I'm solving. And I felt like you were digging deeper beyond just like thought leadership and all of these things that people say that they want, and going beyond that to legacy and like the root of where this all comes from. And that created an emotional attachment.
Yeah. And so and I know we're running on time here, guys. Just real quickly, this is for everybody though, because this applies to all of us, right? The second part of this is putting something at stake. Like, how much does it really matter? Authentic. And Michaela, the other part is, you see there's like 3 circles that I drew. And of course I can't see it, so it's my best like blind circles. So the inner circle is the 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next outer circles, there's 10 indispensable elements of influence. The 4th outer circle are the 4 energies. So Michaela, your energy and everybody's energy, like that's an indispensable component to this. Your energy is off the charts, 9.999. What you experienced with me, right, was a variance into aspirational energy. You have such fun energy. You have great Zeus energy. You're decisive. You're clear. You own yourself. You have a lot of heart and love energy. Adding that aspirational energy, like, where's this all going? Like, taking somebody there in that variant is a huge lever. So, and what I love to tighten up a little bit is the idea, like, let's be real. You're a rock star. You know what you're doing. You blow doors off, right? Like, and there's massive amounts of wasted time, energy, dreams dying on LinkedIn, on social media. You got to fix that. And the best way to fix it is somebody working directly with you. I think you believe that. I believe that. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I think leaning into that, and then there's other options. So, but you are phenomenal. And those micro distinctions, hopefully we're supportive.
Oh, it gave me, I got goosebumps.
Well, thank you. You're awesome. So let's go to the judges quickly as we take it home. Let's start with Sharon this round. Sharon, what'd you have for Michaela and Tony?
You know, obviously you just sort of did a role play with her that underscored some things. So I won't dig too deep there. I think you just did a fantastic job. You know, I think you took a little while to warm up. You know, took her, you know, she was a little clumsy out of the gate that second round, but then got to it. And then, you know, again, I like the empathy. I like the value. But you know, I very much agree, you know, that the ability to work one-on-one with you is the place to go.
Awesome, Sharon. Thank you. And what was the score for Michaela?
Again, a 9.5, somewhere in that zone.
Cool. And how about for Tony?
I thought Tony, you know, did a better job out of the gate this round, you know, given the purpose of the call and kind of getting right to the value proposition quickly. I thought he did a nice job. Again, I think it's a little bit of a sort of a complex ask. So, you know, that follow-up I think is going to be required. But, you know, I thought you did well. You know, 8.5.
Cool. Thank you for that, Sharon. Excellent. And Sharon, how was today for you on the Real Raw?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas.
Thank you. Michaela, she, you know, she went back to the learning in terms of asking questions. So she picked up right where she followed off on the last call. I felt like there was just a little bit of a disconnect in terms of the way that he learned. He said he liked learning by doing things, and you just kind of went into your programs without relating back to how it would help him do things. Sharing the powerful story, I saw John's eyes light up when you said career insurance. So your certainty was on point. And, you know, people just like you, and you just shared that awesome win at the end. Great energy, great job, 9.5.
Nice. And for Tony?
For Tony, you did so much better on this one in terms of getting, I guess, recalibrated, you know, telling him that, you know, I'm not here to sell, but I'm here to invite. And it just created a different energy, and it allowed him to be more open and share. You did get into the points of, you know, since you're on social media anyway, why not get paid for it? Which was a great hook. Where I felt you lost him a little bit was the limiting dollar, right? But you brought it back up in terms of, oh, it goes six levels deep, which, you know, just regained his energy back. Maybe come up with a compelling future. I guess just a stronger push on that, and
Okay.
I think you would have had John right away.
Thank you.
It's a vast improvement, 8.5.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thomas. Thomas, by the way, how was today for you?
It was awesome. I love this. You know, we just get to see our strengths and room for improvement. So thank you for the invite.
No, thank you. And Sheila, what do you have for Michaela and for Tony?
So for Michaela, I actually wrote down exactly what you did with her, Sean. So I put flip it. So putting like your why of how this program came about, whether it's a program one-on-one, but like how you got to this point is so powerful, because I agree with Sean, like your energy, like I would sit down and talk to you all day. Like I would just want to just hang out and talk. So you sharing that, and then I put flip it, pain, and then identifying like how soon is this person willing to make a move with you? And then emotionally and tastefully financially qualifying, because even if they don't land on how they like to learn, at least you can still make that emotional connection like Sean did, but you know where to land them financially in your packages so that it's not distasteful. Like you're not pushing them off and just trying to sell them. But all in all, like, I think like you're awesome. I'm definitely going to connect with you on social media. And like, I still gave you a 9.5 afterwards. So same feedback that Sean actually did with the role play is just what I'm telling you. Flip it, pain, and then how soon.
Awesome. And for Tony?
Tony, yes, I loved it. I gave you a 9 out of this round because I love that hook. Like Thomas was saying, if you called me and you're like, Sheila, I want to show you how to monetize, you know, your time on social media, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what? Because people are doing it anyway. So I love that hook. My only suggestion for you would be, even on this round, is just simplify it, right? Like figure out a couple of bullet points of like what I said, your money shot, and just tastefully pepper it in. And then once you have that person captured, is really identifying, again, leading with that, like, hey, how much time are you spending on social media? Wouldn't you want to get paid for that? And then, you know, diving in onto like how you can help with that and what Clicksters really does with that. But all in all, like, I think your second went really, really well, and I gave you a 9 that round.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And how was today for you on The Real Raw?
This has been awesome. Like, I love it, you know, especially we're quarantined right now, unfortunately. So being able to connect with people, even though it's digitally, like, I love this. So Sean, thank you so much. Fernando's a dear friend of mine, and Lily. So I really, really am grateful to just have connected with these rock stars on this call today. It's been awesome.
Well, thank you, Sheila. I really appreciate you. Tony, my feedback, sir, simply is great job. Love you, brother. The dollar and the 60 cents, like, it kind of like, ooh, like, so like, I would really, I think the magic is in, yeah, you can really have a different platform to do something different with and get paid for your attention. And it only takes 5 minutes a day. I'm not sure if that's true. Like, whatever the truth is,
Yeah,
I would
it's about 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, I would be careful with the dollar and the 60 cents. Like, I would talk more about, hey, it's cool, and you can connect with people through it and tell your friends and get paid. You know, like, I think, you know, highlighting that component, I think would be less interesting, could be a real rapport breaker as you communicate. It's more like, hey, it's 5 minutes a day, tell some friends about it. I'm not sure of exactly the messaging, but, you know, I actually won the Clicksters pitch off back in, you know, a year ago or so. So I think, you know, sitting in that space, I think resonates with the vision of like, yeah, and like taking back from the social media companies, but really focused on what you get. Like, it's what you get. And then footnote is it's good for the world because, but excellent job, brother. How was today for you?
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, I took a note and said, I missed your inaugural event. So I had a family function that weekend, but I'm going to look into it now. So this is good.
Well,
I appreciate being here. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Tony. Finally, Michaela, and everybody, thank you for being here and your vulnerability, openness. John, great job as role player. Michaela, how was today for you?
It's always like immediately before I'm like, why am I doing this? And afterwards it's always like, oh, that's why I do it. Because everything that you guys mentioned are things that like I struggle with. I tend to believe that I should just lead into work, which is funny because my brand is all about authenticity, but I always like have a very clunky kind of transition. So that's definitely something that I'm going to think about a little bit more. So like overall, this has been so helpful.
Yeah, no, thank you. And for all of us, and this is final for today, our clunkiness in transition is thinking that like we're getting something from somebody else. Michaela, people need you, right? Tony, there's tons of people that are going to benefit from Clicksters. If you're adding value, you're supporting people, connecting them to a solution for some of their pain. So beautiful job, everybody. It is Trajectory Tuesday. Thank all of you. Judges, fantastic job. John, thank you. So again, Sharon, Sheila, Thomas, Michaela, Tony, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.